Okay, we're live.
And we're live.
Wow, you were way louder that time.
All right. Well, I'll just keep it out in front of me. I won't like boombox it up front.
That was pretty good. All right, well, Crash Crucible, Crash Camp. I watched it live today. You guys are there on site. How is
Correct.
it?
I
Day
don't know, I
one.
slept
Day
for half the day.
check-in. How was check-in?
Check-in's cool, man. Like there really wasn't much to it. They got the whole thing down pretty quick. So you're kind of in, you're out, you get a photo done, and then you strike a pose and pick a song, and you're kind of done. And then all the cool people who you see online all the time are just walking around.
What was the song for?
In case I get an event win.
I think my speculation is that they were going to do a little snippet of like your pose with the song in the background when you win an event.
Yeah, and it's just for Instagram.
That's still cool though. All right.
So I believe Colton has one up. I don't know what his song is yet.
What do you think of Crash overall, Jace? First time there. The gym.
Like the gym itself, the gym is cool. Like it's a nice big wide open space. It's well suited for what they're doing. Works out nice. I think like the layout is extremely efficient. Like it's not spread out all over the place, but it still feels like a competition.
Have you been to like a lot of gyms? Like other than the ones that you're at?
I've dropped into a few. Like I've been to CrossFit Hendersonville, CrossFit East Nashville. I've been to all the gyms in Eugene. We went to that one in Canada. I went to one in Texas on my way to the games in 23. So
we dropped into that weird shed in Texas before TFX. It was like in someone's backyard.
Oh yeah, that was a strange one. I didn't think
it's probably most similar to East Nashville. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the gym itself. I always think Jared does a really good job of organization and all the equipment he has in there. I think it's a sight to see when you go in relative to other gyms.
Well, I think this year I can't speak for last year because I wasn't there, but they've actually cleared more of their usual gym equipment out this year. Like it's purely just competition equipment now. So like, I don't know if he like rented a storage unit and like offloaded it or just moved everything out to that trailer in the back. Cause I know that they have that set up for storage, but it truly doesn't even look like the gym 2 years ago. Like the rig layout's of course the same, but like there's no extra bars, plates, sandbags, etc. within sight. And then this year they have barricades. They have sponsored like drapes over the barricade, so you can't just like see through it. In previous years, they just did caution tape whenever I was there. So like even this time, like they're hiding if there is equipment there, they're hiding it well.
It's in the right-hand corner, like as soon as you walk in off to the right, where they're
doing
there's
some, but like there's not like their usual like barbells or like anything like stacks of plates. The only equipment that's out is equipment that's going to be used for the competition. So like all the flip sleds are out, it's things like that. Yeah.
All right, that's cool. The general vibe of the gym. Are there any members there? I mean, it looks on the live like there's not really a lot of people there, but you guys are there.
Yeah, there's not like a whole bunch of like spectators here, but
yeah,
like the feel of it feels like a massive competition, but it's like the actual physical dimensions of everything are really small.
Yeah, do you think they're going to change that up? Have they told you guys? Because I know they're going to use the turf for the handstand push-up flip sled, but are they going to
looking at the organization? So like for the chipper event, which I assume is tomorrow, I think the entire floor layout's going to turn 90 degrees. And we're going to go lengthwise of the gym, advancing down the floor. And the reason I assume that is because there's numbers already laid down, 10, 20, 30, 40, etc. And then from there, the turf is obviously in that back corner. So once we get to that flip sled, parallettes,
Sled
the
drag.
sled drag, kettlebell deadlifts. Those 2 workouts will be running lengthwise of the turf. The run and pulling, so pegboard, so it's 400-meter run, pegboard, 400-meter run, short rope, 400-meter run, rope climb, 400-meter run. That workout is oriented down the floor lengthwise as well. So I assume that tomorrow they're basically going to rotate the floor 90 degrees. The tape's already down for it, and everything will kind of blow in and out the door.
Nice. Are they going to run the 6 people each time, or are they going to expand it out a little bit?
It looks 6 is all set up because there's 6 pegboards, 6 ropes, etc. I think, and JR has mentioned that before in previous podcasts, that basically everything in the gym is oriented in sets of 6 and already set up for lanes. So like, I don't think that they plan to change that at all.
Nice. Do you like going in the 6, Jace? Because you came from doing NCC that had 20, and now you got 6.
It's cool, and it's also like not my favorite at the same time. Like, it's cool because you got like the races that are happening in there, and there's like a lot of attention on each individual person, which is really nice. The downside is like it doesn't feel as massive when you're on the floor, and like the racing doesn't play out in the same way. It's like it's more spread out because there's just not as many people on the floor.
One thing
Yeah,
I
you
would
like
say, just from like analyzing it, is that JR, for being day 1, seeded the heats pretty dang well. Like the races that are unfolding, like they're within the people within the individual heats are with their peers, put it that way. So the races are still exciting. The downfalls that are happening are actually happening more consistently in the first heat or 2. Whether that be just people who have less experience or getting caught up in the hype and not being able to watch people go before them, the races look appropriate. And I think as the competition goes on and we reseed based on performance,
It'll get even better.
It'll get better.
Yeah.
Cool. So when you guys started warming up for day 1, the first event, how's the warm-up area?
Actually, warm-up area is great. Like, fantastic. You have everything in there that you need, and it's just big enough to kind of warm up the 6 people who are going to be going in that heat. And then as soon as they're out, like, it's just in time for the next people to really like be using all the warm-up stuff. So like, it's not crowded or anything, and it's actually working out really, really well.
One of the better warm-up areas that you've experienced?
I think that this is the best warm-up area that I've experienced.
Nice.
Because there's just like enough equipment. And
Yeah.
I think part of it is because the heat sizes are so small, like you only need 2 to 3 of anything.
Nice. Yeah, that's the experience we're having. I just wanted you to give the people explanation. How about the briefs? So you warm up. Anything happening fun in the warm-up area?
He told
You're going to talk about this?
Yeah. So before the second event this weekend, he was like, "Hey, Colton, who gave you the nickname the Iron Hog?" And he was like, "Oh, it's from like an open announcement a few years back." And then Jace goes, "Has anyone ever told you that it makes me think of your wiener?"
That's not what I said.
Whatever.
I said, did you ever find that name kind of awkward because it makes people think like they're talking about your dick?
Oh, it would have been funny if you said wiener because there's multiple layers there.
Oh yeah,
Because he has the wiener
dog.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have said wiener.
And
Should've
he's a
said
pig
wiener. Missed
farmer.
opportunity.
Yeah,
You know
there's
what?
a lot. There's a lot
Say it
there.
again.
I'll say it again. I'll find them in the warm up area again.
I think you are. The
tomorrow.
time has passed.
Just kick a dead horse.
I'm gonna look at Colton
Yeah.
and be like, how about them wieners?
That's good. Yeah, I think he'll like that part.
Or I could
Alright.
walk up and be like, "Hey, can I show you a picture of my wiener?" And then show him blue.
Yeah,
He
there
and
you
I-
go.
He and I might actually get along in that regard.
Yeah.
But I've never really talked to the guy, so. I
Yeah,
just
that's a
hear
weird.
Jace.
That's a weird intro if you've never talked to him.
I know.
I know we've never
Just walk-
talked. but
just
would you like
walk
to
on
see my
up.
wiener?
Yeah, that's a little strange. Maybe he'll like it. All right, cool. So really just vanilla, I guess.
What do you mean?
Good warm up area, a lot of equipment, nice space, ready to go. Nothing too exciting.
I mean, no, not really.
I mean,
Like, there's no drama because it's like all well thought out and planned.
yeah, it's not like.
Well, then
we're
talk about that.
witnessing
Talk about the good
downfall.
stuff. Tell them all the good stuff. Good equipment. Got enough equipment. What
Oh,
about
they
the
got
briefing?
this. They got like this sweet retro like racing game in the back in the athlete area. Like you can go back there and like you can just hit the button and go like racing.
Play video games.
Play video games between your heats. Like, that's
Do you know
kinda
the name of the racing game?
neat. I don't. I can take a peek at it tomorrow. I'll take a photo of it and like post it on Instagram or something. If I
It's
can
not
find
like
my phone.
California Dreaming or anything.
It might be.
I mean, it looks pretty crusty. I'm not gonna lie. The thing looks like they pulled it out of the back of arcade.
Yeah, that's like the old school game. You get to pick with the wheel. The
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
that
get to drive.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like California Cruising or something.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's a sick game, dude.
Mike McGoldrick posted it. I think him racing on it. So
which I
Nice.
mean, it's got one of those screens on there where like if you put a magnet next to it, it's gonna change all sorts of colors.
like Mike.
Don't do that. No, yeah, there you go. Don't put any magnets near their screen. Keep that thing vintage. All right, sick. So when you guys line up and they give you the brief, how's the briefing?
It's pretty straightforward. They got this lovely Southern chick, and she's got a super thick Southern draw. She says, "Y'all know how to do the movements, so do them correctly, all right?"
Yeah, it says referee on their shirts. Did they brief you guys about how they're really going to be more like, I don't want to say counters, but verifying that you're doing the reps versus like attacking you guys with no reps? Was that like covered or addressed? Like what is?
Yeah, I mean,
how was your experience with your judge?
I mean, he gave me 2 no reps, which I don't think that either one were incorrect. I think I blurred the line, and they just were very clear about we don't want blurry lines, we want reps. So when I blurred the lines, he said very clearly, no rep, you got to do that again. So you learn quick.
Yeah, I was just asking because JR mentioned how on one of the podcasts that they're more out there to keep you guys moving, not interrupting the race as long as nothing egregious is happening. So I didn't know how much they explained that to you guys or not. I mean, it looks really good from live. Everyone's moving well. They had some people pushing away in the ring muscle ups. Sevon talked about that a little bit. They kind of reminded some people, but
so in the briefing, one of the things that the lady said was like, if you aren't directly over the top of the rings, you're first going to get a warning. And then if you don't correct, you will get a no rep. So
yeah,
that
that's
was kinda
cool.
nice.
That's
Yeah, like knowing like, all right, well, I can like play with it a little bit and I'll know pretty quickly like if I do something wrong, but I'm not going to necessarily get punished for the first one. I have to clean it up and then just stay away from whatever it is that I did that got me that warning. So pretty clear.
Nice.
I mean, nothing milky about their standards. They keep it really, really short and concise, which is nice. At NorCal, like they explained the shit out of everything down to the point where it's like, all right, now I'm kind of confused. Here, they're just like, you know what the reps are. You do the reps, you lock out, you swing, break the plane, you're done. Okay. And it was like, easy.
nice. What do you think? I mean, that's really good feedback in general for like athletes and understanding. Do you think more comps could do stuff like that and it'd be easier? Because I do feel from working with so many athletes all the time that it just gets confusing in the briefing. People have so many questions because they've over explained it. Like, is there a difference? I mean, obviously there is, but like, could you pinpoint why there's a difference here at Crash than some of these other events where people just like raise their hand a million times?
I think there's a couple reasons that that's happening. One is there is only elite athletes at this competition.
Well, I'm talking about regionals in the games, which only have elite athletes, and that happens in semifinals. Yeah,
well,
so
even NorCal was a semifinal event this year, and we still had tons of RX and
No, what
scale
we're
athletes
talking
there.
about is like directly oriented, like organized and promoted through CrossFit, like not a sanction.
I've never been to an event like
right?
that.
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
But so they're
probably-
doing a better job though. So it's like other than that, all right, so let's just say it is that. What else? How come it's getting done? Because like watching from live, it looks great. Like people are, some reps, I think if CrossFit came through would say, hey, those are no reps. But I don't think it interrupts the race, and the right people are the right people so far from the two events. And we watched all the men's and women's heats today. So like, how are they accomplishing that is really what I want to know from an athlete perspective. Because I think whatever they're doing is making the sport better in a microcosm of like, you guys are moving fast. People aren't getting thrown off. The race isn't coming down to a judging call. It's coming down to whether the athlete is actually fit enough or not. So I'm, as a spectator and a fan and a coach, I'm really enjoying it from that. So like, how are you feeling about that? Like, that's what I was asking about the brief. Like, is it in the brief? Like, what are they saying? What did they tell you beforehand?
They just like
Is there
kept everything really black and white. Like on the GHDs, they had a tape line, and they said if we ever see the tape line, if we ever see it on your butt, like it's a no rep immediately. So it's like it's very, very black and white. If your hand does not cross the line, it's a no rep. If you don't squat below parallel, if you don't extend your hips at the top, like there's no like, oh, stand up, but like, as long as you're like neutral, like they don't over explain it. They just say, you're going to do the rep. You know what makes the rep good. Go do it. And they just keep it really short, and they don't leave a lot of room for interpretation.
Nice. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're just not leaving a lot of room for interpretation, which is
what
good.
I was thinking about, like whenever I was at semifinals, and the brief that stands out to me was an event that had advancing. It was AMRAP, a burpee box jump overs, and you had to advance your box every 5, right? And the flow of the floor plan led to interpretation of when and where you could walk around your box, how you could move your box, how you are not allowed to move your box. And again, to your point, it's like the over explanation and the nitty gritty getting into the fine details. They're trying to protect the flow for the broadcast. I'm saying CrossFit is and to protect the narrow lane so that people aren't getting obstructed by their like the guy next to them walking in front of them as they're advancing their box or jumping over the box. I'm assuming they're trying to be as like safety oriented and fair sport as possible. But by creating all of these like standards or like do's and don'ts around the flow, it led to different people's interpretation and or confusion of like, when am I allowed to walk around the box or not? But the questions that I found the most annoying back in the day was whenever someone's like, what's the monitor going to look like when I walk out on the floor? And I think that was so they could understand if the monitor is going to malfunction on them or not, and they could immediately request a new one. But like, that's me speculating, right? And it's like, just go out there and ride the bike. Like, you'll be okay.
So a good example of what Harley was talking about is we had to change our own weights on the floor. And they didn't even bother to tell you like when you had to change the weights, blah, blah, blah. They said, and they kept the weight simple. It's going to be adding one plate every time. It's stacked in order. You can do it before, after, doesn't matter, as long as your weight is the correct weight when you go and pick up the bar. We don't care. So like,
that made it really easy. It was enjoyable to watch that and see how all the plates were stacked sequentially for the round that you're on. It helped with the show too. Like when we're watching people come through, it's like, and with having the white plates being last for the men, especially, and then the blue for women, it was like, oh, they're on the last round. So it was really nice that they did that. And it's so simple. And that's kind of what I was getting at is like every year that JR has done this. And even you look at Syndicate Crown was one of the best semifinals as far as like flow, procedure, standards, because him and Wilson, JR and Wilson did that semifinal. And then it's just cool to see it play into Crash. And now that they're doing so much media coverage on it, Crash this year, you're seeing a lot more than like when Harley did it 4 years ago, and people knew as it grew into this really good comp that was one of the things that I think makes it such a good competition for athletes to go to, is those things are taken care of. It's definitely like a headache free. And it's cool to see from the live. I just want to know, like on site from your guys' perspective, like what you're engaging in, Jace. Like, is it rub free? Is it like headache free? Which it sounds like it is.
Yeah, there's no like weird stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, I always talk about it through that lens of like, it's a noteworthy competition because it's so consistent and you know what you're going to get. It's going to be well ran, well programmed, super creative, fun, and unique. And you're going to have some of the fittest people in the sport around you. And there's no question about any of those things. It's just, they hold the standard. They created a great standard, but they're holding the standard year after year. And if anything, like you said, Todd, it's getting better.
Nice. Cool. All right.
like-
Event 1. Oh, go ahead.
Super
Jason.
vanilla.
It's like vanilla ice cream, just like you said, but they just make the best freaking vanilla ice cream
Well-
you can make.
I was joking that you guys were being vanilla. I wanted to hear some cool war stories, but
Well,
I
you
guess
didn't ask
the
about the
Colton
events
Mearns. I
Yeah,
know, the
you
Colton
didn't ask
Mearns-
about the
All
events.
right. Look at the Colton Mearns one has to do for now. All right, event 1, an open workout variation. Dang, you just thumbed down an open workout variation that open
No,
workout.
No,
no,
the
no,
workout was great. The
Workout's-
workout's
Oh,
great.
okay. All right. Well, let me for the people who probably not following along today, the open workout, they went off of the toes to bar double unders and squat clean workout, but they switched it up to a lot of toes to bar, a lot of double unders, and front squats at heavier weights, but very similar. So it's
Beautiful
20
workout.
toes to bar every time, right? Correct.
25.
5 rounds. 25 toes to bar.
was a
100 double
challenging
unders. So you had to do 500 double unders out there, Jace. That's crazy. And
I think
then
my best time
um,
for just 500 double unders alone is like 10 minutes. So
That might have been
Nice.
yeah, I think I PR'd my 500 double unders for time. In the
and
middle
then
of that
specifically tell everybody the squats and the loading because I don't have it
I
in front of me and you did the
So
workout.
one. I don't even remember, pal. It's 225 at
I
20
got you.
pounds every round.
11, 9, 7, 5, 3. So each round it decreases by 2 repetitions and it increases by 20 pounds, starting at 225, 245, 65, 85, 305. And I think a lot of people were real surprised at how that 305 felt.
Do you know if the Masters did the 305? I thought
They did.
you guys were going to be
lot
a
of
little
them.
heavier.
No, they did 305.
That's part of the reason
Okay.
that this competition is so simple
Cool.
is Masters have the exact same programming as us.
Okay, so then Sevon and them had that wrong then because they said that the elite athletes were going to be heavier. So maybe they just misspoke. Anyways,
Yeah, one of
so the
Masters
workout,
that he
beast
only got
of a
to the
workout.
285 bar.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, really hard workout. I mean, 500 doublers alone is pretty tough. Why don't you talk about it, Jace?
Apparently, at some point, I
Like,
got.
what was your
really bad.
strategy? Go on.
Okay, yeah, strategy. Our strategy was to try our
Yeah,
best
start
to-
with the strategy. Going in before you started the workout.
going in. So I tested this workout. What was it? Friday or Saturday? Last weekend, and I did terribly. I came out way too hot, and ended up really exploding later in the workout, and did it in 24:30 or 30 something.
And for context, the time cap is 20 minutes.
So I was like, I'm still gonna like finish this workout, get my training in, see what it's like on those final bars. And then Harley was like, yeah, I sent him over the video. He said that I rushed the first round way too fast, and I chose to go unbroken on all of the bars for the front squats. He's like, we're gonna change up the front squats, and then we're gonna break the double unders and break the toes to bar earlier and a little bit more often. And it worked really, really well to improve my time, but I still did poorly on like my placement in the leaderboard.
What was your let's see, 20-minute time cap, and you had the 3 front squats left, correct?
Yes.
And so it took you 24 minutes to finish before. So how much of an improvement was that for you?
So
3 minutes.
yeah, we're estimating around 3 minutes.
If
Nice.
he was to continue on with those 3 front squats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you looked really strong in the squats, the ones that we could see. There were a couple where they did the wide angle view, and I think it was the 3rd bar, if I remember correctly. You looked good in the squats, so there's no doubt you would have got those 3 pretty easily.
Yeah, the squatting wasn't really the problem for me. It was just like the double unders and my heart rate just kind of spiking. So
I think it's systemic.
systemic.
It's the whole package.
Yeah, Harley probably has a better grasp on what I need to do in the future than what I do because he's smart like that, and that's why I hire him.
I mean, it is a very tough workout. That's, just
It's a
alone
beautiful
looking at the
workout.
total.
I love it.
Yeah, the
But
total
now to the
volume of
interesting
work.
stuff about that workout. Afterwards, I'm just like collapsed on the ground. You probably saw that in the broadcast. Me just like laying there dying.
You weren't the only one, but yeah.
Yeah. So Hiller came up and stuck a camera right in my face. And I was like, this is the camera of shame. And he says, no, it's not. I said, is this the camera trying to catch me puking? Because I gagged in the 5th round of Toes to Bar. And my judge
not gagged, you dry heaved. Like you
Yeah.
started like
Yeah. I almost lost my lunch on the floor. And my judge is like, get him a friction bucket. Like, he's going to puke. So Hiller comes over and he thinks he's going to catch me yakking. And I'm like, well, if you get me a bucket, I'll puke, but I'm not going to puke on this floor. I was holding it back pretty hard. So then I finally peel myself up off the floor and I start walking away, and then it starts coming up. So I'm pushing people out of the way, getting over to the garbage can, and I'm just heaving in this garbage can for probably 5 or 6 minutes before just laying on the floor. And I got real dizzy for a long time.
Yeah, wasn't great.
No. And then Hiller asked me if I would puke on the next one for him or pull trig just for the camera. Can you do it again, please?
Well, when you're doing the workout in general, I mean, it was a hard workout. I think somebody else puked too. But what are you thinking about? I mean, you're out there with some pretty good guys. You can see the person across from you who didn't he win that heat?
Yeah, he was sub 14.
Yeah. So what's going on when that?
Well, we knew that this one was going to be tough for me just because of the nature of the workout and how I'm not perfect at CrossFit yet, and I still got like a lot of room to grow. So Harley said, hey, stay in your lane, man. We know what you did in testing. We know about where you need to be. So let's just plan to do the best for what you can today. And that's kind of what I attempted to do, is just execute to the best of what I could and not really run the race that everybody else was in, which I think was the correct thing to do, because if I had tried to run the race, it would have gone even worse. And I like to focus on like one thing, either whether that be getting reps or like one more rep, or just pick it up, counting myself down. But luckily Harley was able to stand so close because of the gym. I was able to hear him very clearly. So I would just rely on Harley. He's like, all right, 3, 2, 1, grab the bar. And even if it was just like posturing myself in the way that Harley expected me to, like sometimes that was enough to motivate me to like start the next rep or start the next set. So I just tried to follow commands like a robot instead of really trying to think through the workout myself.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good when you're developing and at a comp like this. Is there anything you picked up from the athletes, like that you saw that you want to emulate, or like anything you learned from that specific event?
I really was not focused on, I wasn't focused on anybody else at all. I was literally just zeroed in on what Harley was telling me.
Yeah, I think that all that's true up until the 15-minute mark. So I think Jace executed phenomenally well through 4 rounds. He finished the 4th round around 14:50. So then he had 5 minutes and 10 seconds to do the last round. And I was very excited and hopeful. I'm like, dude, he has the time to finish and improve, not just by 3 minutes, but like improve and finish in front of everyone and like make it happen. And so he finished that round just under 15 minutes, and he didn't start his next set of Toes to Bar until 16-ish minutes. It took him a minute to make his way back to the pull-up bar. He looked over at me. It seemed like no one was home at that moment. His responsiveness went out the window. And it reminded,
I didn't even know that you were saying anything.
And it was like, all right, buddy. Like Tyler Watkins looked at me. He's like, I think his soul's left his body. And I was like, yeah, I think that he's losing it at the moment, but it was what it was. He ran the fastest pace that was within reasonable margins. And as you've seen me do in the past, Todd, like sometimes you pick a pace out of like the nature of that's what it's going to take to finish, or that's what it's going to take to be with the people you want to be with, and you either can hold it or you can't. And so I thought it was really great that he held it for 4 rounds, and then, you know, stuff hit the fan, and it was what it was, and he lost that composure in the last round. So he did a great job for about 15 minutes, and then from there it spiraled pretty quick. And the fact that he was still, even after standing still for a minute, able to chip through the toast bar and double unders. He really regained focus on that last set of double unders, and he made the choice to go 50 and 50 when in previous rounds we went 40, 30, 30 for pacing purposes. So he chose to try to go a little bit faster to earn the opportunity to pick up that final bar. It just wasn't enough time to make it happen.
Yeah, on the live feed, you couldn't, because of the races and stuff, you couldn't really see him in his 4th round, or like going back into his 5th. You do see some of his toes bar break down in his 5th round, but can't really see that. But because there were 2 guys left on the floor, him being one of them, his dubs looked great in that 5th and final round. So it was cool to see that. And you're 100% right. Like that's where for us watching you, Jace, like probably wouldn't even knew that there was that big of like an explosion from the 4th round to the 5th round just by the live feed. But you know, that's a good pace. You had a 3-minute PR, crushed it. Like you couldn't really ask for more. I was just wondering if there's like, because you're in this experience right now with people who've been to the games, either team or individual, or like some really close semifinal guys. You know, if you're like noticing anything, but it sounds like it was just kind of at a certain point, like survive and not die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is totally fine. It didn't look like it until, you know, like that, until the end, really, honestly, because the live, we didn't see the 4th or 5th, like, yeah, the 4th round, we didn't really see. So any of that chaos that was happening, no one even knew till now. So here you are.
It was quite the reality TV show drama in the back after. He's just like hanging over the trash can, and just everyone's like, Mike McGoldrick like turns the fan and points it at him. It was good. It was you know, it takes a village.
Yeah, definitely.
I think John Wood was like, "Are you gonna be okay?" I was like,
So what was then you have another event, what, 2 hours later ish, give or take?
I think I had 4.
Yeah, it was about 4 hours.
4?
So I was like, yeah, man, you gotta eat some food. So I know it's the worst thing you're gonna want to do since you just lost it, like stomach wise, but you're gonna have to go get a meal in, settle in. It sounds like from when I talked to Michaela that he came back, took a nap, refueled with a good meal, drank some Gatorade. Then I was like, you should probably do some mobility, like loosen up those hips and stuff. I don't know if he was compliant in that, but I recommended that because workout 2 was primarily all midline and shoulders. Workout 2 was 4 rounds of 7 ring muscle.
Well, let me ask about the refueling. Is that hard for you to do, Jace? Like, because you just threw up, and like, you know, a lot of people would not be able to get something down after. Like, how is that for you?
It's not fun. I mean, like, you're there, you don't really have enough stability to really walk. Everything's fuzzy and tingly, and like you don't feel good generally. But I just started with something simple like Gatorade, sugar water, and just sipped on that. And then I went back to the hotel room, laid down, and just closed my eyes, and I was immediately asleep for the next half hour. And I think I got like half a thing of Gatorade down by then. And then when I woke back up, like my stomach had settled enough to where I just leaned over and started eating rice, and just started shoving rice in and then washing it down with Gatorade, and shoving rice in and washing it down with Gatorade until I ate a full plate of food. And then I finished another thing of Gatorade after that, some gummy bears, 2 packs of applesauce, and then it was about time to go again.
And that's really solid. Some people struggle with that. So there it is. Take a half-hour nap, drink Gatorade, then just start eating rice.
Well, Jace was not always the best at it. So like at Desert City last year, for those of you going to Desert City, heed this warning. By day 3, you're going to be tired. You got to be fueling. So day 3 for Jake Jace last year at Desert City. He basically bonked. He looked at me, no one was home, in a 6-minute workout. And I was like, oh no. So then we basically really instilled that in him. I was like, the biggest issue was that it was a lack of fueling. And Todd, I remember you watched the live feed or whatever, and you asked, you're like, hey, it looked like he bonked, like stereotypical endurance moment, right? At the end of a marathon type of body language. And you asked about his fueling. And so from there, as a village, we all kind of like attacked him, pulled out our pitchforks and torches, and we're like, eat your food, darn it. And now we just harass him all weekend long about eating, because if we don't, he won't, because it's uncomfortable. To your point, most people have a hard time with it. So I'm glad to hear that he did all of that between events, because he came back, and I think he had a great second event for his, priority work, what we've worked on all summer. It all kind of paid off in that second one.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. So basically like Shia LaBeouf, just do it. Just eat your food. Do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to feel good, but you'll be happy that you did it afterwards. And like, for me, it's not as much like immediately trying to shove something down, because like that's so nasty that it like sits with me wrong, and like it just makes me no longer enjoy whatever's happening. So I try and start with something simple and sugary like Gatorade, because it's like, oh, I can sip water and at least I'm getting some calories in, which speeds up like that process of recovery a little bit. And then you get to that point of being willing to eat again faster.
Nice. All right. Harley, event 2, you are very excited to explain it. So tell everybody what it is.
Yeah, this is all you, buddy.
I'm vanilla, dude.
This is all you.
All right. So 4 rounds, 7 ring muscle ups, and then parallel bar traverse. You had a 6-foot section of parallel bars, and you had to do 5 lengths of 6 feet. So you ended up on the opposite side of the parallel bars, and you did 21 GHDs and then 5 more parallel traverses, and that puts you back at the ring. So it had a nice flow to it, moving to and from the GHD, between the ring and the GHD. 4 rounds. I believe it was a 12-minute time cap. And take her away, champ. What do you do?
Yeah, those parallel bars, I want to get some for the gym. I think it'd be cool to have classes do them. We have space for like 3 stations. I was talking to Marissa.
And
I've seen them on
take them on and
road.
off. You theoretically could just take them on and off on the day that you wanted to use them. It would just take a little setup time.
Yeah, I'm really glad they use them. It's cool. But before we do that, Jace, Shannon's saying you still don't eat well in training. So there you go.
Yeah, I've been getting better at it. Improvement over perfection.
There you go. All right, so the P bars. What was your guys' strategy? What was going in?
So the race was just kind of the race, and I knew I could potentially go unbroken on it. So I was like, we'll start with the 7 ring muscle ups, just to start. Those were the gimme. And then I did the P bar traverse, and there wasn't a whole lot of room on the ends of those P bars for your hands. So like you had to like really make sure your hand was across that line, or else you wasted a whole bunch of time like fumbling the end of it. And then GHGs have been like kind of difficult for me in the past, and especially in combination with ring muscle ups, because it blows up your core to the point where you're no longer able to like snap through the ring muscle up.
Yeah, it's essentially the same movement.
Mm-hmm.
Old school CrossFit days, they would have people do like GHD with low rings into the ring muscle up to practice. It's wild.
Oh, interesting.
But anyways, go ahead.
So like I was really concerned about this workout, but we have been working on this specifically since NorCal and my explosion with the ring muscle up workout.
Explosion in a bad way. His meltdown in the
meltdown in the ring muscle up workout at NorCal.
Well, I was gonna say they looked beautiful today.
Yeah, so like this was highly anticipated for me. Like I had been working on this for a very, very long time. Harley had been working his butt off, giving me really high quality programming to be good at this workout specifically. And then like the moment came by. So I was like, all right, I know I can at least get 1 round unbroken. So I just did my 21 GHDs. I felt decent. And Harley said, take a breather before you start your parallel bar traverses, but don't hang out there. So that's what I did. So go by and you take a breath, hop up, traverse, turn around, take a breath, hop up, traverse. And then I got back to the rings, hopped right up, felt good. So I just went for another 7. Back to the GHD, and I was like, I know I can get at least 21 more GHDs. So I went unbroken again. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. And meanwhile, everybody else is running away from me at this point in the workout. And I'm like, you know what? I know that these are hard for me. If I try and run the race, it may turn out poorly. So just stay in your lane for this one and hit home runs where you know you can. So I was like, I'm just going to stay on this pacing. Don't freak out. Did my parallel bar traverse back, took a quick chalk break before I hopped up on the rings for the 3rd round, went unbroken again on the ring muscle ups. And I was like, this is awesome. And did my P-bar traverses back to the GHD. Harley was screaming at me to go faster and hop in quicker. And I was like, I'm going to take my one breath that you allow me. Went unbroken again on the GHDs, which I did not think was going to go well, but I was like, yeah, we're here. So let's try it and see what happens. Took my breath, went back to the ring muscle ups and quick chalk break, hopped up there and went all 7 unbroken again. And I was like, now it's go time. So then I really tried to speed through the parallel bar traverse as best I could, hopped in those GHDs, went 21 unbroken again, parallel bar traverse back and finished it in 10:05, which was like incredible to me. Like I could not have even probably finished that within time cap 3 months ago.
Yeah, that's really solid. Do you feel like the P bars had any effect on the ring muscle up at all? Or were you not even thinking about it because you're moving so fast?
Yes, they had an effect. But
what
I think
was it?
like your triceps, it's just like lockout position. So like the lockout at the very, very top of the ring muscle up was difficult, but like the dip motion wasn't really all that bad, to be honest. So like, I don't know how to explain it, but like you started to get fatigued on the parallel bar traverse, but it didn't transfer as much as I thought it would to the ring muscle up dip.
What about the core at all? Was there from the stabilizing, like shifting back and forth in the midline of the P bar
No,
or any of that?
the P bar is literally just triceps. That's it.
All right, cool. I was just curious about you doing those 2 combos together.
Yeah, I just watching it and thinking about like gymnastics, like people talk about, you know, straight arm strength versus like bent arm strength or dynamic, like pressing, pulling. And I think of the P bar as a straight arm implement, right? So ideally, if you're maintaining strong lockout through the elbow, you're stacking your joints. Yes, there will be some tricep activation and stabilizing through that position, which to Jace's point will interfere with the tip top of a muscle up. But I don't really think, other than the coordination through the shoulder complex, like I don't think that the P bar is going to like impact the bottom of the dip, as Jace talked about. But vice versa, if someone is rushing the P bar, doesn't have enough experience on it. There was a couple of people who got some no reps there, and it was more just through a loss of balance and a misplaced hand rather than like an inability to do the movement. It was more of just like an accuracy test.
Yeah, the Mayhem guy on Sevon who won it said they do P bars like once a week when they're training for the games.
Yeah.
How many people do you think who are not team games athletes or individual athletes like train on these P bars? Because a lot of them look like they had a lot of exposure and experience to it.
Either they got really excited about it in the last few weeks and made their own makeshift P bars, or more people have access to them than I realized. But looking through the Instagram lens, I think a lot of people got creative in the last few weeks and really doubled down to make sure that they could do it.
I think Nate said that he didn't even have a set. So that was the first time they did ever bent on him.
And he crushed it.
Yeah, and he won.
So I think it's also like a transferable movement pattern for the most part. If you do enough ring dips, ring supports, ring swings, those types of gymnastic skills that are, you know, in my opinion, fundamental and foundational to developing stability for muscle ups, you're probably going to be able to figure out a parallel bar pretty quick.
So JR could have just took him out.
I think a handstand walk would have been amazing there.
Handstand walk would have been a lot harder.
It's
Yeah, that'd be
basically
tough.
what the way he did it is kind of just like an upright handstand walk. It's just, I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
what it is, just through a support position rather than overhead.
Yeah, it was fun to watch. But now you guys talking about it and Jace, you talking about it, seems like it was just fun to watch.
Space wise, the P bar made a little bit more sense though.
Yeah, I like the novelty of it. Like, regardless of like, oh, what's better, worse, whatever. It's like, I do appreciate the novelty. I think with the turnarounds, it allowed people doubt, allowed people a moment to slow down. So, like, for context, like Jace ended up edging out a couple of guys who were high level semifinals athletes, have been in the game a long time, and in a muscle up workout. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, our training's worked out, and then our progressions are working. That's great. But it's probably more due to who decided to take, instead of one deep breath, who took 3 or 4. You know, it's like when we're at this level of the sport, it comes down to such fine details of execution. And the more opportunities you have to break, turn around, and second guess yourself or think, the more likely you are to slow down or lose time, put it that way.
Any takeaways from this one? Like for yourself, Jace, or even
Believe
from
in yourself. You can do it. I mean, if I can have a meltdown at NorCal like the way that I did, and make like a 3 to 4 month turnaround on my ring muscle ups and be mid pack on an event that was supposedly like a big hole of mine, like that gives me a whole lot of hope for the future in some of the other areas that I struggle.
Did you learn anything from any of the competitors at all? Take anything away?
Yeah, this one, because it wasn't as much of like an energy expenditure for this workout specifically, like I was able to kind of see what other people were doing. And I was just hoping that my pacing would pay off. So I was watching them, and like I started to see myself like reel it in a little bit. And it was like a positive reinforcement thing of like, oh, hey, like you can choose a pace, and as long as you hang on to it, sometimes it pays off.
Nice.
A lot of times it pays off. Listen to
All
your
right,
coach.
let's pulling up the leaderboard.
Oh no, I haven't.
I haven't looked yet.
Before we, I'm not gonna.
I won't.
I won't say or anything if that's like how you guys play. But
I
did notice. Oh well, I did notice there's this interesting thing. Well, 2 things. We could talk about the P score and your thoughts on that. I mean, I've talked about it. I love it, but there's also these little bars similar to like the High Rocks stuff, where it shows you guys where you need to make improvements in High Rocks. And essentially that's cool. What it essentially looks like. That's what it's trying to do here. It's so like battery. An event. Yeah. And then the top people like Colton, obviously, because he won the first one, has like that. And then it shows like a little bit degrade on the second event where he got 5th. So that's kind of neat to see. It's almost like a needs analysis for the events there. And in both these, like you got 22nd place out of, 28 guys, which is great. And then a 12th place. So middle of the little further than middle, obviously, of the 28 guys. And
let's go. 22nd in the first one?
Yeah,
wow.
I knew that.
That's not bad at all. Yeah. I thought
you're still in the fight.
Well, you got a little red. You got a little red battery. You got a little red battery there. So
for sure, you did. You had a red battery. Your battery.
I'm gonna gauge everyone by their batteries at this point. Yeah. So let's see. 10:07. Okay, so 10:07.
You suck.
Oh wait, actually, you might. No. Hold on.
What's the point spread? Jacob, how many points does he have for 12?
Oh, I see. The median time. All right, so he got the median time on G Unit. This is kind of neat. It also shows you the median time. You were exactly the median at 10:07 because that's the median time. All right. What points? Sorry, 75.68 points. And you want to know how many Colton has? He's first.
He's probably got like
198.
Yeah.
Yeah, 180. He's got 183.
183. Okay. And Jace has 78.
But he's got two full batteries. Yeah, he's got
but
two full
Jace-
batteries, so it makes sense that he's
Sure. But Jace is 78.
yes.
That's interesting. So like at 22nd, he got 22 points.
Correct.
He did. Like that's just the way it worked out. He got about 22 or 28 points for event 1, right?
Right.
And so then event 2, he got 50 points for 12. But that's because like you said, he's the median time. So like he's middle of the pack from a spread of time domain. There were people who were so good at it that he still only got middle of the pack points, even though he's 12th place. So like the placement standpoint, I still think that's a phenomenal, because when we talk about it a lot, we're like, where is his skill, endurance, where is his capacity relative to the field that he wants to be competitive with? And seeing that he went from bottom 5 at NorCal for the 30 ring muscle up test to a 12th in this gymnastics bias test, I think that that's a testament that we've done our job over the summer. We did a pretty good job
against a better field.
Against arguably a more well-rounded field, a more dense field.
Yeah, I mean, that one's hard to say. I wouldn't even include it just because you never like that's. But what would be cool is if Tyler Watkins could go back and run these types of like on that other field and give you this information.
Yeah.
Because then it kind of linearizes your strengths and weaknesses against the variable of the people, because that's the one variable you can't really account for. And I agree with you. Yes, the field is better here by accolade, but we don't really know that by skill or energy system realistically, right? Because the argument can be made that there were maybe higher skilled guys at NorCal or vice versa,
or more specialists, but not as good CrossFitters.
Yeah, who knows? And that could also be wrong. But what I think is cool about this little thing here is that at the end of the weekend, this could give you and Jace a roadmap on like where he needs to focus his training, which is nice because he's already found that he has found some wins already in these 2 events based on his training and his progression since NorCal. Yeah. Do you think like something like this could accelerate the process for athletes in their training?
If they if they didn't get it, they would need someone to help them interpret it. Or if they wanted to be students of the game and actually analyze their, outcomes relative to their peers at a given event, then yeah, like it could.
If you like analyzing data, analyze your data. If you want to win, get a coach. He'll do it for you.
At least have a pulse on it. I think it'll give people a greater pulse on where they are relative to the group of people they want to be competitive against. Because I would say that Jace wants to be competitive with that final heat, that top 6, but without seeing how far away he actually is from that, like we're just shooting in the dark a little bit. So this really puts it on paper of like, oh, in this workout, you are X time for this amount of work. And then we can start quantifying rate of travel.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like it. I thought it was cool that they added that. I just wanted to bring that up. What is, I know you talked about P-score. We had you on when you did the mountain games. Jace, how do you like it now that it's starting up?
I don't really know. I like the idea of it.
Like you'll tell us on Sunday.
On paper, I really like the idea of it, but in all honesty, when I show up to compete, I'm never worried about the score itself because that's something that I can't really control.
That's kind of interesting. I mean, you can, well,
the system you can't pick.
We're gonna Harley. Yeah. I was gonna say, Harley, you'll have your day. You'll have your day when you go to a comp and you're like, oh, I can't actually control this, because I think Colton Murrens might say something a little bit different.
I think Colton controlled the shit out of event 1.
Your day will come, Chase. Don't worry.
Right now, his priority is controlling himself and executing at a given point. Once you're so fit, then you can utilize that leverage in your strength to actually work the scoring system to reward you greater in a more
or you kind of know like what's going to happen, what the outcome's going to actually be like when you go out there,
right,
because you've
I think
mastered
for a guy
yourself
like
and
me-
like the events.
For a guy like me, it might actually like lower the amount of points that I get in a given competition, just because the leaders of the pack are able to stretch out there even further. But I think that they've earned the right to get those points in the first place.
I don't know, because if you look at your performances at NorCal, and they're given that's just the most recent data point before this, you had really high finishes, which would have theoretically rewarded you given this point structure. And you also had really big holes that would have probably just given you zeros. So I think it would have like actually played out in your favor pretty well, because you would have gotten like really big like boosts of extra points essentially and punished others in those wins, in the home runs. All right, so what's tomorrow? What do we got tomorrow?
I think you start out with
We
the
could talk
Timberwolves,
about tomorrow.
and then you end with the sled pull.
All right.
That one's gonna hurt.
Well, I mean, overall, looks good. You're doing great.
All right, I'm gonna make a
PR'd some
prediction.
stuff.
I'm gonna make a prediction. Tomorrow, people aren't gonna know what the fuck hit them when they pull that sled around. Like when they finish, they're gonna be wobbly, real bad.
Yeah. You didn't see well, maybe not. You see JR do it?
Mm-mm.
I mean, he is fit. There's that. But he was pretty good. He's pretty
Did
JR,
he do the exact
Taylor.
weight?
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, JR, Taylor, and somebody else did it. They
What
look
was their
pretty
time?
good. I don't know. I could find the video. They have it.
Just curious.
It was like recently. It might be on. I could look for it. I'll find it and send it to you guys.
Yeah, because I tested this, and in the middle of the workout, I looked over at Shannon and I went, "Oh, that's spicy."
Yeah, I
Again,
mean, you
got
were on the
water.
rubber floor, right?
It feels fairly similar. I lowered the weight just a little bit.
Hmm. All right, you hold on to that thought. I'm going to ask you tomorrow if it felt the same. I feel like you were working
Yeah,
harder.
I
than
think the issue is that when Jace tested it, he doesn't have 50 feet straight. And so he turned around every 25 feet in his test run. And I think there's something to be said for momentum and carrying that forward movement for the straight shot. So I think that he'll have, again, the same conversation and point I made about the parallel bars. The more opportunities you have to stop your forward momentum and stay in your lane, stay in your groove, the more opportunity there is for doubt. So given his test run had breaks every 25 feet, I think there's higher hopes for the outcome tomorrow and how he has, or how the flow of the floor plan will actually work in his favor to hopefully improve upon the practice sesh.
More opportunity to hurt.
That's what I
Yeah,
say.
you're also a strong boy, so it'll go well.
Apparently, I'm just good at running.
He's just a runner. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're the runner," and I was like, I wouldn't call him a runner. I was like, I don't know many runners that can power clean 350 for a triple. And everyone's like, oh. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, it showed in your squats. So they probably just were not looking at your squats. Your squats were good. So you're not just a runner. You should just pull the clip off the live. And like when people say that, just replay you squatting. And they'll be like, oh.
I would have liked him to just not fail that, or I would have liked him to have the opportunity to pull the 305 with a little time, because almost everyone was failing that first attempt at it.
Yeah, but you only had like 3 seconds, right?
He only had 3 seconds. So that was an issue. So that's what I'm saying is like,
I think if I had another 20 seconds, I could have pulled it.
Yeah.
You would have definitely needed a moment to compose for sure.
Yeah, hearing the time, because there's no clock on the live, it didn't seem that it was valuable for him to even try, to be honest, like based on the time and stuff.
Right.
Too rushed. Cool, guys. Well, day one. Overall, you excited? You ate your food, so that's good.
Yeah, dude. Like, this is just like a cool experience. It's nice to like be next to some athletes who are rising in the space, and hopefully I'm one of those athletes as well.
Nice. All right. And tomorrow, You're gonna do good on the sled.
Hopefully. I mean, really all I can do is show up and give my best effort, and then what everybody else does is what they do. So I mean, if they're all really fucking good at the sled, then maybe my time won't hold up quite as well, but I'll still have my best effort, right? So
Yeah,
but
100%.
I do have a baller win song if I end up winning an event.
Don't tell anyone. Keep that to yourself.
No,
Because
I ain't gonna.
cross our fingers that you get a win, so we can all hear it.
Here's what I will say though is when I chose the song before they did the headshot, John Wood was standing there and he looks at me and he's like, "Are you serious?"
Look at John Wood. John Wood, he's fine, but I would not classify him as a trendy or cool dude. So don't worry about his opinion.
I don't think I'd classify me as a trendy or cool dude, but
No, man, you're at Costco Momoa. You got cool braids. You got some stuff going for you. Your red shoes were pretty fire on the floor today. So
oh, that's cool.
listen, he wears his same gray Noble shorts basically to every event. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm just fashion policing him right now. That's all there is.
Yeah. What should I wear tomorrow, Todd? Pick my outfit out for me.
You look fine today. Keep doing what you're doing. All right. Thanks for watching. Those of you guys who watched, we'll come live day 2 for more insights and hopefully something more exciting than a PR and having a good time happens. And you can tell us some funny stories and leave Colton Murrins alone about his hog. Okay.
God, it's hog.